Hello, fellow gamers. Jim here, and we are back with what is almost the final playthrough. Episode? Chapter? The final level in the intermediate lobby of Strawberry Jam. So, we're looking for Pufferfish Transportation Company. And I think we've only got 2 levels left. I think it's down bottom right. So I think we go this way, then this way. I think this is it. Yay! Okay. I think there's maybe a bench or something up there I'm missing. But here we are at Pufferfish Transportation Company by Rocket Guy 2 with code from BBB651 and art from Earthwise, Cat, Fant, and Zolimono, with music from Tiny Swamp, a sticker by Limit, a few new names in this actually, decoration by Nyan, playtesting by BeanJammin, Legas, Salray's Hope, and Sergeant Snivy. Alright, let's jump in. Cool, so we've got Granny, we've got a door that goes nowhere, but I suppose it's the entrance door. Hello, ma'am. I'm Madeline, and I'm here to deal with your pufferfish problems. Ah, you're the pufferfish transportation girl, right? It's the Pufferfish Transportation Company girl, but yes. That's what I said. Anyways, I was storing down some old stuff in my shed. Old doodahs and whatnots. When suddenly, one of my old thingamawhatsits sprung to life. Then it proceeded to send a whole bunch of weird spiky things throughout my house. Weird spiky things? What's that got to do with pufferfish and the transportation thereof? Somehow, all my pufferfish broke out and are just floating around the place. What? That's very much not how pufferfish work. They're not lighter than air, for one. Don't ask me how it's happening. All I know is that it is. If you're going to stop this, you'll have to get to the shed. That's where the item is. Also, for some reason, these pufferfish act differently than normal. Normally, if you hold away as a pufferfish explodes, you get launched further. However, that interaction does not happen here. Hold away? Explode? What on earth are you talking about? Oh, I wasn't talking to you, don't worry. Who else would you be talking to? No one else is here. I don't have to deal with this. I'm leaving. I'll give you $500,000 if you help me out. Whereabouts is the shed again? Just go through the house, then through the garden. I must warn you though, the spikes have complicated things. I'd highly recommend you come up with a plan before moving through each room. Anyways, reach the shed. Stop the object doing what it's doing, then you'll get your payment. Cool. Right, storyline. Sorry, my voice acting is appalling. I felt the inconsistency as I went. Whoa! I think your door just disappeared. It does that sometimes. Just keep pushing forwards. Does that sometimes? When she said spiky things, this wasn't what I expected. I was expecting to have to watch my step. Not this. I mean, I'm a marine biologist, not a platformer protagonist. Cool, yes. So, this is a puzzle level. I mean, is it a puzzle level? It's kind of a puzzle level. I don't really know what defines a puzzle. Webster's Dictionary defines a puzzle as, I don't know. But, anyway, it is a routing level for sure. Routing level. And basically what you have to do is use the pufferfish to make your way through the level. Now, as Granny so helpfully pointed out, breaking all sorts of fourth walls as she did, these pufferfish do not have the usual puffer boost interaction, right? So normally you hold away, you get boosted further. That doesn't happen. Cool. So what we need to be doing though is be very precise when we hold jump and when we don't hold jump off of the puffer boost. So when you jump on a puffer, you can either get a big bounce or a little bounce. And it introduces this cool mechanic. So if you, I don't know why it calls it jump, but basically you can super off of puffers. And in fact, I think they are known as a puffer super. So do that, hold jump, and then we can make it this way. But if you don't hold jump, you don't get enough height. So make sure you hold jump, then we can dash up and activate this. I'm going to kind of rush through these because either you play it blind and you figure it out and it's great fun and everyone enjoys it, or you can pretend you don't know the solutions, but kind of what's the point in that? So what we do here is we just need to be careful with this fish because the trick here is we've got these move blocks. If you can see that moving around when you dash. And it's got to be in the right situation for the pufferfish. So what we want to do, if I can do this, we want to dash twice like that, because then it lets us, then it puts the pufferfish in the right place. Now, this is interesting. So basically that bit down there is if you die. So if you die, it puts you down there, which forces you, well, it doesn't force you, you can just climb out, but it encourages you to dash. And if you dash, it puts that move block in the right place. Cool. Right, so then we do this, and that's a bit tricky to figure out. It's not tricky to execute. You just hold jump. So what you want to do, dash out of here, dash on top of the puffer. Don't do anything like that. Hold jump. You get 2 bounces off him. Then you can dash up here. The fish will go on a magical journey. We can activate that touch switch, jump on the fish again, and continue through the level. We've got these Mario-style pipes, which you love to see. Now, we're going to need to continue that way, but we've clearly got something to investigate up here. And we do! And, I didn't check this, but we can see we have 5 berries to find, which is very exciting. Now, there's a really fun thing here. So you see that berry up there has a pufferfish sort of halo around it. You know, the sort of semicircle lines, dots. You know what I mean. It looks weird. But what that's telling you, it's like a winged berry. It's telling you that if you blow up a fish, the berry will vanish. So the trick here is you need to get through this room without blowing up a fish. Is that... I smell berry. Yes, you do. So make sure you don't hit a fish, or you have to retry. So you can still bounce off of them. So what we want to do here, bounce this way, bounce this way. Don't blow him up, because even if you don't die, you'll kill the berry. Alright, so we can make our way here without blowing up a fish. It's a bit tricky. You need to be holding jump. There's a little turnaround you've got to do, but it's not too bad. This is hard though. So what you need to do here is grab this feather, and then you need to dodge both of those fish on the way back. So that's the gimmick to this berry. But then we can collect it for berry number 1 of 5. Yay! Now, if you want to do if you want to collect, like let's say full clear golden the level, right, or full clear silver, and you want to get to this without hitting this fish and having to die and reset, if you duck and dash under it, you can make it. But if you just regular dash, you will hit that fish. So just be careful. Okay, so this is a bit tricky. We need to jump on this, quickly dash that way, quickly dash that way. And then that lets us activate both fish and make it down here safely. So jump out of there, use... This might still be alright. Yeah. Woo! Yeah, jump out there, use the fish to do that. Right, now this is tricky. You need to be a bit quick, so we need to dash through there twice very quickly. And then we can use the dash refill there to safely explode the fish at the end of the room, having transported him across. Hence, Pufferfish Transportation Company. Now, the correct way to go is this way, but we don't want to do that, because first we want to go this way. So, if we look here, we can see a don't double arrow, and that is a modded Celeste sort of universal sign for don't dash. In fact, no, sorry, it's in the vanilla game, isn't it? Yeah, it's in the vanilla game. Ignore me. So you want to beat this screen without dashing, because we have a winged berry. to collect. So this is quite fun. So you kind of need to juggle these fish down through these springs. Make sure you hold jump here. Then we go. When you get to this stage, you need to explode that fish. Then you need to explode that fish. Then you need to explode that fish. And that's because exploding the fish activates the switches. That lets us get up here. And we get transported back. And that is berry number 2, which you love to see. All right. Now, this is a little bit of an intro to how these puzzles, I say puzzles, routing puzzles, they're kind of puzzles, right? How these puzzles are going to work. So we want to grab hold of this platform. That then lets us go up there. Now, here's the, whoops, sorry, my bad. Right, grab this. Whoops. Dash up there. Then we need to move the green to the left. That's the sort of tricky part. Then we can use the momentum of that red block to hit the fish back to the green block. Then the green block's momentum will take us to the end of the screen. Happy days. Now, again, we've got a tricky screen ahead of us, but we have a rather obvious route to explore up here. I smell a blatant disregard for the laws of physics. Yes, what you smell, Madeline, is a big pile of jank because the screen is horrible. So, it's clever. The way that it's set up and the way that it works is clever. But it's just annoying. I'll show you why. Right, so if we jump onto this, we can grab the side of this block and it goes up. So that's the gimmick of this screen. Gravity is going up for these blocks. Then we want to dash over that, hold jump, and that sets up the timing really nicely to be able to do that. Now, I need to show you why this is so awful. Okay, so remember, hold jump there. Now, this is... Okay, I'm just going to get on with it. Right, so what you want to do... Alright, well, I just died anyway. What you need to do here... So, let me just get there again. What you need to do here... What? Okay, come on. Come now. Wee. Alright. So, what you want to do here is the first of those spring blocks, the one that's there, will rise up and move the fish over to the right, to the left, sorry. The other problem, though, is that this block down here will be going upwards, and you will be bouncing on it, and then the fish will also get bounced up by it, and it's so annoying. What you actually need to do is explode the fish so that it sets off that switch, and you can use the momentum to go over to the right to where the berry is. But that left-hand spring is really in the way, and it's just, there's no like, maybe there is a really nice, obvious setup on how to do this, but I have never found it. So that is what I've figured out is the best way to do that. Okay, so let's do this again, because I'll show you what normally happens, right? What normally happens is you come up here and you get smushed. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of this screen. I think it's hopefully quite clear that I'm not a big fan of the screen. And it might be because I'm doing it totally wrong. But anyway, let me just show you the solution I have found that works the most consistently for me. Okay, so we dash there, then we can dash up, and then we can dash to the right. Anyway, I hope that helped a bit. But yeah, very frustrating. Now, okay. So this is a difficult screen. So what you need to do is maneuver this fish over to the right so that you can use it to boost your way between these two spiky platforms to the end of the screen. So that sounds relatively intuitive, but you do it with these springs that aren't always in the right place. You've got to make sure that these platforms are out of the way all these blocks are out of the way. You've got a limited number of uses of these two, so you can activate these switches. You can activate the blue and the green and the yellow platforms by standing on these, but once you use a side, it becomes spiky, so you can only use it once. Basically, this is a tough screen to figure out. I know the solution, so let's just get on with it. So we want to come up here. When that's down, we want to dash over there to get onto that puffer. Then we use the momentum of this, and that gets the fish in the right place. Then when that's up top, we need to use the momentum to come up here. And then what you need to do is let that start going down, and just before it goes down, then you can jump off the side of it. So the blue one needs to be up, the yellow one needs to be down, and it's just a little bit annoying. So good luck. Hopefully at least seeing the solution will help. I'm out of the house. I must be nearly there. Yeah, we wish. Okay, so now this is where you actually see a really cool feature. So we can do this. We need to puffer buffer. Puffer super. Puffer super. So this is got a bit of a cunning solution, which I like a lot. So let's... That actually worked. That isn't what I meant to do. Right. What I meant to do was this. So we jump over this, then we let it set off. I don't know. I hope that was clear, kind of what I was doing. You can follow it back. But basically, I like where the solution is. You're holding onto the side of one of those blocks, and then you need to jump off it. But what you have to do is wait for it to start moving and then jump off it. I get to show it again because I'm an idiot. That ain't going to work. Right. There we go. Make sure you do a rightward dash so that the fish can make it through. So now we wait for it to start moving down. That lets us get over here for the green block. Then we need to come up here. You're safe from this spike wall because of this jump through, which is nice. And then we can use this platform to get our way down there. Hooray. Now, this is a fun screen. This is quite tricky to figure out. But if you use the binos, you come all the way over here. You can see we've got another berry that requires no puffer explosions. So we've got 3 out of 5 berries so far. And this is quite a tricky screen. You've got lots of move blocks. It's difficult to know what to do. So what we do is we dash. Make sure you dash over there so that the fish makes it here. Then you dash back into the pipe. I recommend holding onto the pipe. You don't need to. Dash again into the pipe. Then dash down. Now, be careful, because if you can't just dash down while standing on the pipe, you will automatically go down it like that. If you try, you need to dash down to make sure the block's in the right place. Then dash up. I like to dash up. You don't have to. You can dash to the right to get on the fish, but that moves that move block so that the spring is in the right place. Then we can use that spring to move this fish. Now we need to jump on this fish, and I like to come back here because this lets us move the fish like that. Then we can dash again and move the fish like that. Finally, you can bounce on the top of that and collect the berry because you haven't blown anything up. Hooray! And that was berry number 4. All right, so now we are nearly there. Hold up. I'm fairly certain the land I'm on right now is floating. Wild. Wait, there's a note on the ground. Coco Doku by Fish Tank Overflow. I have no clue what that's supposed to mean, and I don't think I want to. Wow, there's a lot of talking in this map. So Coco Doku is, I understand, I haven't played it, but it is a puzzle map similar to this in sort of theme that is in the Spring Collab. It is in the 2020 Spring Collab map pack, and it is a Grandmaster puzzle map. So, and I understand it's not everyone's favorite. Okay, now what we're doing here. So this is a bit of a complicated platform management, block management puzzle. So we dash over here, then we drop down. Then when we're here, we dash up. We need to dash to get that block out of the way. Then again, we need to jump off that red block, but when it's on its way down, that's the tricky part. Then when this block is down, we can dash down, and that'll send the fish that way. Then we can dash again to send the fish even further on. Now what I like to do is another final dash. Again, I know these aren't the most efficient number of dashes you could be doing, but that's fine. Right, let me get off this before it drives me mad. So we want to dash like that. Ah, man. You don't need to do that. You need to bounce off the top of it. Okay. No, messed that up. Right. Let's try this again. Wait for it to be moving down. There we go. Now, wait for that blue block to be down. Then we can dash again. Okay. Okay, now bounce on him. Use the boost. There we go. This is it. Only the shed left between me and that 500 grand. How hard can it be? Oh. Oh no. Okay, Madeline. We all know. We all know. We're all here. Cool. Right, so we need to puffer super. That sends the fish that way. Then we drop down onto this. We dash down while we're on it to set this up. Then we can climb up here without dashing. That sends the fish nicely that way. Now you want to jump down here. Now we just need to be careful here because you can't go on that top spring because it's covered in spikes. But that's why you also need to be careful. Okay. So we're back here. We climb up here. We set this up. We drop down here. We jump this way. Then we can dash. Okay. So we need to hit that right-hand spring. So it can be a bit tricky. But exploding that fish sets off that switch, which lets us access those platforms. Happy days. Now this one's a bit complicated. We need to dash off of this, then dash immediately when we have access to that dash crystal. Whoopsie. No, sorry. Right, I'm going mad. Dash here, and then we do this. Right, let me start again. Dash, dash, bounce, platform, dash up, bounce again, platform, explode. Easy. Easy. So basically, that blue platform over there is 2 blocks, which go back and forth like that. Okay, so then grab onto this. You can just jump out straight away. I prefer a grab. Let's dash up onto him. You can use these dashes to be quite careful about how you land on the fish. And we make it to the end of the screen. But there's this mystery button over there. What's that all about? Ah. There's something coming up. I can feel it. I swear I've seen this before. Yeah, don't know what that's a reference to. Okay. However, there's the heart. But we haven't found all the berries yet. Well, these jellyfish can be carried about, which is cute. And they basically act as a Theo crystal, except they can explode. But you need a certain other item to make them explode. Don't worry about that. But what we can do, whoopsie, is bring a fish all the way this way, chuck it through, and access that switch. And then it opens up the floor for us. We can grab this last berry, berry number 5, and we are out of here. And then we need to use one of these fish to break the heart. How exciting. Well, that was a nice puzzle level. It's a good thing there's no other puzzle levels in this lobby, eh? Right, well, anyway. Thank you very much, these guys. Yeah, gameplay and mechanics. Yeah, so a puzzle map. I'm going to keep calling it a puzzle map. It sort of is. There's not like a lot of different ways to do a lot of the things, but, you know, a bit puzzly. Obviously, the gimmick was pufferfish and move blocks and springs and the different coloured move blocks as well, so that you can interact with a yellow block and it will move all the other yellow blocks. etc. Yeah, and then quite tight platforming required as well. So lots of spiky corridors that you need to make your way through. And then also, was I going to say something else? No, I don't think I was going to say anything else. Yeah, and the vibe, you were going through the house of Granny. You were decluttering her pufferfish for her. You were getting paid $500,000, and Madeline complained about it the whole way. And I didn't realise I would have to do so much talking. But it's quite nice to have a map with a story, right? So yeah, kind of a pity Granny wasn't there at the end to give you the $500,000 though. I kind of feel like we got stitched up. Who knows? But yeah, the music was kind of bouncy and sort of fishy. It fit quite nicely, I think. And the aesthetics were quite nice when you were going through the indoor bit, then the outdoor bit, and then the shed at the end. So yeah, no, it was a good mix of things. In terms of berries, so obviously we had 5 berries, which is amazing. I love 5 berries. And we had this cool mechanic of the don't blow up the pufferfish berries, which was sort of like a cousin to the winged berries. And there was even a winged berry in there, which was really cool. I don't know if there were any other secrets, so do let me know in the old comments. And then fun and difficulty. So the difficulty with this map was figuring everything out. So again, it's difficult to judge once you know what you're doing. But nevertheless, I still think it was quite a lot of fun actually executing it all. And yeah, it was... No, it was good. It was good. I did enjoy it. I think it was difficult enough to execute that it was kind of... It didn't matter that I already knew the solutions to the puzzles. It still was an enjoyable experience. Was it difficult? Well, some of the execution was quite fiddly. There was a little bit of jankiness with one of them berries. And definitely figuring out some of the puzzles the first time around was hard. So I'm going to say it was pretty difficult. Definitely earning of its red. Don't think it's the hardest in the whole lobby. But anyway, let's go find a journal and have a look at our stats and sticker. Oh, here's a journal right here. How handy. There we go. Oh, that's cute. With the you got a spring and a pufferfish there in a little picture frame. I like it. And there we go. We got 5 out of 5 berries with 44 deaths and 25 minutes in the map. I won't lie, I did have to duck away for a minute or two during it, so there's a little bit of editing, so that time isn't entirely reflective. But yeah, really good fun. As ever, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time for the finale, kind of, but not quite, but almost. You know what I mean. Cheers.